read history, religious studies. Those that had A grade in philosophy of education were categorized, put into a club, used to inaugurate a club called the Contraview. And we were taught documentation. On this special day, we were presented to faculty. And the topic of the debate was, behind every successful man, there's a woman. They said, we were drilled separately. Vice Chancellor, sir. That was my first initiation into what I call the traditional art of self-naming. At the end of that encounter, we lost. When I say we lost, the female lost. But as I look back, with the benefit of hindsight, it seems to me that we lost more to the if motive. And I'd like to state, Vice Chancellor, sir, that I have discovered in research that the greatest legacy that religion has given to the world is Professor Imoh, and my humble self. So we have done quite a lot in showing the implications of sex difference, using it to exploit and to differentiate humanity. So in this hierarchy, you can see the placement of the sexes on the social structure. You have a man there on top of the hierarchy in Africa, or whether in African American. I'd like to state also that in this discussion, I'm taking an Afrocentric Black experience wherever the people are. So I'll give my illustrations from Chinua Achebe. Of course, he almost killed his wife on the week of peace because the woman saved his meal late, which shows that she wasn't committed to her road. Or we were walking into the subway, and the young man enjoying himself, thinking a white woman is Lula, pushes him out of the train and stabs him outside, because as a black person, he is seen as a stepchild of American democracy. This African announcement is made. Say you are free. You have nothing to do. The statement said that all men are created equal before God, and they have inalienable right to life and happiness in spite of race, class, or creed. So that statement ended the American Civil War, ended slave trade, but practically started slavery, because these freed blacks had no way to go to. So the only option was to stay and work as indentured laborers on the plantations for their masters. The point I'm trying to make is that if it was that bad for the black man, so how was it for the black woman? Her sexuality was commodified to sustain slave economy. She could be accessed by a white slave master, by the black man, and just by anybody. And so she could just move from any point. There was no family. So let me illustrate, Vice Chancellor, with the character in the text, William Wells Brown's text, Clotel. Now we are told that historically that Clotel was the president's daughter, the daughter of Thomas Jefferson, one of America's presidents. And here this girl, she came out of a liaison between a slave master and a slave girl. But even though we were talking about that slave trade and she was suffering, she could still go to the market. So she resisted slavery and ran away. She's caught, and she's incarcerated. And of course, she couldn't stand it. When she was about to be taken to slavery, she drowned herself in the river opposite the president's house. And of course, that is a strong indictment of American democracy. This is the president's daughter drowned in the river by the president's house. Why? Because America's racial memory fixates the black person to the Middle Passage, and blackness became a sign of moral and biological inferiority. So the black woman carried a triple yoke, that it's bad enough that you're black, bad enough that you're a member of the poor working class, and that you're also a woman. And so you understand what the Shange means for colored girls when she said, being alive and being black and being a woman is a metaphysical dilemma. In Africa and in many other cultures, you will see that even when Western education came in Africa, for instance, colonial literacy was not offered first to the female. It was first given to the male. So female came as latecomers, and you see that in second-class citizens. And so rationality first became male, and if rationality is male, now it's taken for granted that women were irrationally excluded from it. So the female was prepared for a domestic space because of the assumption that the womb alone makes her existence. So production. In Judeo-Christian perspective, we have women seen as daughters of Eve. And so this critic topping says that ever since Eve persuaded Adam to taste the forbidden fruit, women have proven to be Satan's most successful weapon against men. So they are held in suspicion, even when they mean nothing. Even when their situations are not, even when we look at the Bible. I read the Bible, but I understand that there is a culture behind the Bible. In the